Hi! What was Paul's dying wish? What was in the heart of the Apostle Paul towards the end of his life? This is an important question because Paul is given to us as an example to follow. If we could know what was really on his heart, we could get a lot of direction for our own lives. Watch this video and at the end we'll see someone else who had a very similar desire at the end of his life here on earth. Paul was a Jewish rabbi having been trained by Gamaliel. That's quite something. Imagine if you meet a person who plays golf who tells you that they've been trained on how to play golf by Tiger Woods. You'd be impressed. You would also know that for someone like Tiger Woods to train someone, he would really need to see potential. He wouldn't just train anybody. Gamaliel during the time of Paul was well known, a highly coveted rabbi to give training for any young disciple. It wasn't easy. By the way, Gamaliel was the grandson of the famous Rabbi Hillel. Have you ever gone to a U.S. university and seen a Hillel student center? Yes, that Hillel was the grandfather of the one who trained Paul. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? Now, a disciple wanted to become just like his rabbi. Paul was a Pharisee and a rabbi. He would be looking for disciples. Who was Paul's biggest disciple? Timothy. So Timothy wanted to become just like Paul. If you read 1 Corinthians 4, you can see that Paul sent Timothy to Corinth because Timothy had become just like Paul's rabbi. To understand discipleship more, please watch this video. So the last letter that Paul wrote was 2 Timothy. He wrote to his dear disciple Timothy, who had become like a son to him. You could see one of the last wishes of Paul in the last chapter, 2 Timothy 4. In verse 17, Paul wrote about things that happened in his ministry. Then one of the last things he said, that by me the preaching might be fully known and that all the Gentiles might hear. Notice Paul's desire. He wants all to hear the gospel. The word preaching in the Bible always refers to the proclamation of the gospel. What most pastors call preaching is really considered teaching in the scriptures, unless they are sharing the gospel. So a 6-year-old girl who shares the gospel is preaching. Paul's desire was for all to hear the gospel. Throughout all of his epistles, that was in the heart of Paul. So for the extra, who else uttered that same desire? The Lord Jesus Christ. His main message after his resurrection and before his ascension was to make disciples, to preach the gospel to all. He just had died on the cross a horrible death and rose from the dead. Listen, I just did this for you. Now you go tell others what I did for them. And he entrusted us with the gospel. Can you think of a higher purpose that you could have in your life? Paul became Jesus' disciple, and so he wanted to become just like Jesus. And then Paul asked others to imitate him as he imitated Christ. In 1 Corinthians 11 verse 1, Paul told the entire church of Corinth to imitate him. By the way, the word follow is the same as imitating. It's a term known for discipleship. So proclaim the gospel. If you don't know how, watch this short video. Little kids do this. You can do this. Just go do it. He's worthy. God bless you. Bye-bye.